I'm live. Okay. Um, I want to say this is a live video. I can't stop and pause. I thought this would be the most appropriate. There are dogs barking in the background. There may be noise around the house, so I apologize for that. This is not a edited video. This is a live. And well, I probably don't need to tell you. It's the biggest news story in the planet right now. Nick Saban has retired. And that is a sentence I didn't think I'd have to say for a while. This is a video I didn't think I'd have to make for a while. And this is information I didn't think I'd have to accept for a long time. Um, I have notes, but this is not really scripted. He's the GOAT, simply. I mean, 7 national titles, 6 at Alabama, 1 at LSU, won 2 in the 2000s, won 4 in the 2010s, and 1 in the 2020s. I believe, if my math is right. Yeah. 3 decades of dominance, 12 conference titles, um, and 297 wins. And I could give you a lot more crazy statistics than that, simply than just his titles, his conference titles, and his wins. But you've probably heard of all the crazy stats before, and sports accounts will be tweeting them and posting them for days to come. I don't feel like I need to really convey to you how good of a coach Nick Saban was. I just want to say thank you, Coach Saban. Um, you are the greatest coach of all time. And that's not college football. That's not Alabama. That is the history of sports. You are the greatest coach of all time. And I appreciate that Saban spent his years with the Alabama Crimson Tide. I really am. It. Sorry, I'm still at a loss for words. It's been an hour or two since he retired. Only reason why this video didn't come any sooner was because I was at the bank setting up my checking account. First checking account ever. I got into football. I was never big into football as a small kid. Like, some people are born into it and they just do it all the time. But I never really got into it till I was about 9. And it was great. The only reason I got into it was because my grandpa had a stroke and he had to be hospitalized. And I wanted to spend more time with him, and the only one main thing I knew was he liked Alabama football. So 2015 Saturday, Alabama versus Georgia, I decided to watch my first Alabama game ever. And quite literally changed my life. I mean, ever since that day, I just fell in love with the sport, man. And that's thanks to Coach Saban. Um, I mean, obviously, I have this YouTube channel centers around it, college football, and a lot of things I do. I mean, my career choice is journalist, sports journalist. I mean, it quite literally has changed the course of my life, and I gotta give thanks to my grandpa, and I gotta give thanks to Coach Saban. I just didn't think it would happen so soon. Like I said in the beginning, this is not a video I thought I would have to make for a really long time. I did not think I'd have to make this video so soon. A lot of people are shocked he went out with a loss, but I'm not too terribly surprised. He would have preferred to go out with a championship, of course, and it's a shame he didn't get one. And I haven't even started reflecting. I blocked it out of my mind so far, but thinking about this Rose Bowl loss from the other day is gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. I mean, I apologize for the cough. It was bad when it happened. It might be the worst loss now that Saban's retired, and that's going to be his last one. But sorry, get back to the point I was making. A lot of people were shocked he went out not winning a championship, but I'm not too terribly shocked. He said he would retire when he had no more to add to the game. And I believe he knew that he just got too old. I mean, there's nothing to do about it. Everybody gets too old eventually. The greatest of the greats get too old eventually. And that's what happened to Coach Saban. Father Time simply caught up with him. He's been doing this a very long time. The man, I believe, is 72. He's been doing this for a very long time. And it's simply time to head to the lake. Um, Alabama most likely won't see the success that Coach Saban brought them for a long time. I mean, look at the years before Coach Saban, the terrible Mike's years. Um, Mike Dubose, Mike Shula, the absolute the downfall, the bottom, rock bottom of Alabama football. And I sure as hell hope that's not coming again. The terrible Mike years, but I could see something to that effect. And there's others too that way predate my time. I mean, Curry, I believe, was one. Perkins, Ray Perkins. And some of these coaches weren't quite bad, but when you have a coach like Paul Bear Bryant, and when you have a coach like Coach Nick Saban, every other coach is going to pale in comparison. And I believe that's what Alabama's headed for. If you want the God's honest truth out of me, if you want my direct feelings, no homer, not being a homer, not bandwagon, not bias or whatever, my honest to God truth is I don't think Alabama's going to win a championship for another decade. I will hire another coach, who that might be. I'll get to that in a minute. But I don't think Alabama's going to find the success. Well, I mean, we certainly are going to find Saban's success. Let me say that. We're not going to find like 6 championships in like 16 years or something to that effect. That's simply not going to happen. But I don't even know if we're going to be a championship caliber program. Or that's not exactly what I mean, but I don't know if we're even winning a championship for another decade. Um, that's the honest truth. A lot of people are saying out he went out on bottom. Absolutely not. He made the playoffs. He did his best coaching job. He took this team to a national championship, or to a playoff, essentially the national championship. The Rose Bowl was the national championship. He took them to the playoff, a team that had no business being this close to a playoff. This was his best coaching job yet. Apologize. Um, and the fact he did is insane. But no, this is not bottom. This Alabama might not even make a playoff. No, 12-team playoff is going to be different from the 14. Yada yada yada. But you know my point. Alabama may not be this good for a long, long time. Um, and I'm devastated. I mean, I'm kind of smiling, I'm smirking, and I'm making a few laughs here or there, but that's to mask. I mean, devastated doesn't even begin to cover my feelings on the situation right now. Um, like I said, I mean, this has been my life, man, my life. I'm not gonna show you, but the hell with it, I will show you. I mean, this is not the only one, but I mean, this is right above my bed. I mean, close my eyes. Last thing I see at night, open my eyes. First thing I see in the morning, and it's to commemorate the 2020 season, which will be Nick Saban's last championship at Alabama, and if not for 2023, actually might be his best coaching job as well. And there he is, right there. So I just wanted to share that. I mean, the amount this man has affected my life is insane. Um, I'm not even going to talk about replacements today. This is not what that video is for. That is a separate video that will not be today. Out of respect for Coach Saban, it will not be today. That is an entirely separate animal. That is an entirely separate beast. But that video will be coming soon. And others will be coming soon. I mean, I have I've never been this inspired to make videos except when I started my channel. I mean, if you guys have been paying attention, I've been uploading daily, which is something I have not done in a long time. And I probably got like 5 videos privated that are just like ready to go like that. But they're going to have to go on hold because this week is going to be Saban week. Forget Shark week. This week's Saban week. And you're going to see stuff like off the top of my head. I haven't even made the list yet, but top 10 plays of the Saban era, top 10 players of the Saban era, ranking all of the Saban era teams, stuff to that effect. I mean, I still have to brainstorm and whatnot, but videos will be coming. Expect this week to be centered around Nick Saban. And that's really all I got to say. I mean, sorry if you're watching this after the fact. This is a live, like I said. So, but long pauses, and this video's, 12 minutes long, running currently. Sorry. It's not well edited, yada yada. But I wanted to give a very raw reaction. It would have been even more raw, but like I said, I was opening up a checking account. And that ties into something as well that I'll touch on. I mean, I hate to relate this back to me, but I mean, is there anything unique on the situation that I have to say? I mean, the unique things I can say about Nick Saban retiring, all, of course, are going to come from my experience. And this year, man, I mean, this year's off to a terrible start. I mean, let's be honest. But this year doesn't even feel real to me. I don't know how to put that. I'm going to be getting my first job extremely soon. Just like I said, opened up my first checking account. I'm going to graduate in May. I'm about to go out of high school and go to college. And if you're wondering, I was going to share this on the channel. And I probably still will in a separate post. But breaking news, yada, yada, yada. I have been accepted to the University of Alabama. Roll Tide Roll. And it's a shame I'll never be a student while Nick Saban's the coach. Now, will I go to Alabama immediately? I don't know. I'll probably go to a small community college for 2 years, then transfer to Alabama. But I will get to Alabama one day. That is my goal. But like I said, the checking account, the first job, the graduation, I mean, and then now this, it doesn't feel real. And you want to talk about change? Let's talk about change for college football in general. I mean, this year feels like the end of, I don't want to say the end of college football, but the end of college football as we know it. I mean, the NIL and the portal taking over, conference realignment next season, the 12-team playoff. I mean, the end of SEC on CBS, and now most of all, the end of Nick Saban as head coach. But that's pretty much all I had. So in conclusion, thank you, Coach Saban. Coach Saban is the greatest of all time. It's a dark day for Alabama. I don't know. I can't explain this for people who aren't Alabama fans. Alabama's not like any of the programs in the rest of the country. Sorry to be elitist or whatever, but I don't care. It's not like any of the rest of the programs in the other country. I mean, today's a dark day for Alabama. I mean, everyone and their mama talking about Coach Saban retiring today. And everyone's going to be talking about it tomorrow. And the fact I have to go to school tomorrow is a crime. And to focus on schoolwork, wow. I got to think about this. No, but I want to leave you with this conclusion. And it's basic, but don't be sad because it's over. Smile because it happened. And that's the mantra I'm going to try and keep to myself. And just a reminder, it is forever. Roll Tide. Roll. Thank you, Coach Saban.